New York's most iconic food spots are disappearing, and today we're on a mission to highlight them. These legendary family businesses have fed locals for generations. We're meeting up with 5 NYC food legends so we can find out what makes them truly irreplaceable. Only one problem, I don't have connections to these food icons, but I know someone who does. I'm joined with New York's unofficial talent scout, New York Nico, and we're starting at the Hot Dog King.
Right outside the Met Museum. You'll meet the Hot Dog King in a few minutes. He's been selling hot dogs for, I think, about 40 years now. He's got a very interesting story. I won't give too much away.
I'm Dan Rossi, the New York Hot Dog King.
How did you get into the hot dog business? Take us back to the beginning.
Oh boy. I was a sheet metal worker. One of the men in the shop had a heart attack, and he asked me to make him a hot dog cart because he was going to retire. And when I got done with it, he felt better he wasn't going to retire. So we went ahead and tried to sell it. I sold it within one day. I doubled the money it cost me. So I built one, I built another. 10 years later, I had 499 carts on the street. I was the largest vending company in the history of New York City. Had no problem with a guy named Donald Trump who opposed veteran vendors, and I'm a disabled veteran. I did a couple of tours in Vietnam. Me and him went head to head. He had Rudy Giuliani in his pocket. Next thing I know, I'm out of business.
I've heard that you've run into some trouble where you can't leave your spot.
Yeah. What's happening now, originally it was just having problems with the Met, but then it turned out where they started to reinforce the black market of the industry. They would hire these veterans that were down and out, tell them stories that they can take any spot they want. And one morning we came and they were plopped right here. They just picked them up off the street and they were just trying to muscle the spot. That was happening about 12 years ago. First 3 years, what I did was I would set up a chair in the push cart and I would doze off. And then they passed the rule that you can't be in the push cart, so I ended up moving into the van. This is it. I just lay out some blankets and I go to sleep. It's kind of lousy.
It's crazy.
You know, I'd much rather be home in a bed.
What keeps you going, being willing to sleep in your car almost every night for years just to keep this one space?
It's a question of survival. When they came and they attacked me and took my company, they forced me into bankruptcy and homelessness. So I went from having a great life to having nothing.
On a more positive note, what are your favorite things about being a vendor here?
Oh, I love people. You can sit here, you can laugh all day long with some of these things. I mean, you get people that are arguing over whether it's ketchup or mustard.
Ketchup or mustard, what do you think?
Never put ketchup on it. But I do it, but in the beginning it was hard for me to do it.
Yeah. Dan, could you tell us the difference between how you do it and like a typical dirty water dog in the city?
You don't want to have dirty water dogs. I'll tell you why. The water sucks out the flavor. So in the beginning, you're getting a really cardboard hot dog, really. But at the end of the day, that water is actually dark brown green. The hot dogs, when you take them out, they're green.
Yeah.
And a lot of the vendors, what they'll do is they'll wrap them up and they'll sell them to somebody the next day. You want to stay far away from it. If you came here 6 months from now or a year from now, you're going to get the same thing. So you're going to get a better one because we're working on our own brand now. So you're going to get a better, yeah.
I haven't tried the New York, so I'll try that.
I'll do a New York also.
New York is nice. It's just mustard, sauerkraut, just a little bit onion. And that's New York. That's the best way to have a hot dog.
How much longer do you think you're going to work here?
90 years old. Then I go to Alaska. I'm going to Pan for gold.
How old are you now?
75 in 2 days.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah, happy early
Thank you.
We're going to eat these on the steps of the Met, just like a tourist would. New York style, sauerkraut, onion, mustard. Let's rock. It's got a really nice snap, very crunchy. What do you think sets this apart from like other hot dogs you've had?
The fact that it's grilled and the guy who's selling it to you. He has amazing personality. It just makes it taste better.
It's really the truth. When you like the person that's selling you the food, I think it does taste better. You're helping to support a disabled veteran. And he is in like the one spot that as a tourist, if you're watching, you're very likely to go to, the Met. Yep. He's right outside of the door. The man's got a story and he's extremely friendly. I mean, throughout everything he's been through here, been arrested before. And this is the type of person we're showcasing. We still got 4 more to go. A lot of interesting stories and a lot of reasons to keep coming to these businesses because they're not gonna be here forever.
He says he wants to work until he's 90. That's only another 15 years of the Hot Dog King. Gotta appreciate these places while they're still here. Good glizzy?
Very good glizzy. Nico, we've got Rosarios, one of my favorite little hidden gems in Astoria because it looks like an Italian deli from the outside, but on the inside, some of the best pizza in the city.
One of the best in the business.
Looks like a deli, smells like a deli.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Business has been around since 1986. I was down the block, I had a little shop, walked away from it. This opened up at the beginning of 2001. Nice size store, people could come in, have pizza. We have also some groceries, all Italian stuff.
What's your favorite thing about running this store?
I like food. I like talking to people. People say, "Oh, Rosario, you want to retire?" I said, "No, I'm not going to retire because I like to come here."
Now, what makes your pizza different than other spots?
My pizza is made with fresh mozzarella, which we make ourselves. The sauce we definitely cook. If you actually have a batch, we just made it.
Really good.
The American style is a lot of cheese. I personally want to be able to taste the sauce, the dough, and the cheese.
Which cheese is this?
There's a blend of pecorino here, some grana,
How many minutes does it cook for?
about 7 minutes. This is a traditional pie.
Oh, thank you so much. These look fantastic. I mean, Nico, we just saw the whole process, how they make their own mozzarella here.
I like how you pronounce mozzarella.
Oh yeah, I tried to get Italian there. The sauce made in-house. I mean, Rosario is just a legend. I think his pizza is so distinctive looking that if you were at an event, you would know this was a Rosario slice.
This one I feel like is super distinct. Also, there's not many pizza places that have the owner's face on the box.
Yeah, exactly. His face is also on t-shirts. A little Easter egg, if you were watching my Bronx Pizza video, Greg, my co-host, was wearing a Rosario shirt in that one. It would make for an amazing gift. This is definitely one of the better slices in New York. It's just the perfect balance of cheese to sauce.
So good.
I think in general, Queens does not get a good enough reputation for their pizza. They have so many amazing spots. I think
They really do.
Brooklyn and the city get way more attention.
It's also affordable. Less than $20 for an 18-inch pie.
Think about how many different shops this is in one. It's an Italian grocery store. It's a deli where you can get sandwiches and a pizza shop on top of that. They also have amazing drinks from Italy, like the Sicily Blood Orange Soda. I recommend you pair it with that. I know it's New York pizza, it's tough to rank, but you know, where does this sit for you?
Definitely top 10.
I gotta agree.
It's all about what you're in the mood for. But I'm always in the mood for this guy.
A lot of our legends today, they may be up there in years, but they don't want to slow down. Like, this is their life's passion. This is what they do. It's what they've been doing forever.
No signs of slowing down. No signs of slowing down. I only found out about this spot 6 or 7 months ago, so unfortunately they didn't make it into my book. Keeps me up at night because it definitely is in my top 100.
Part two.
Part 2, but yeah, this place is legendary.
Come for the pizza, stay for the t-shirt. All right. Nico, we're at Myzel's Chocolate in Midtown, and you could just blink and walk past this place, but that would be a big mistake, right?
That would be a huge mistake. The chocolate here, amazing. The curation, incredible. But the person who owns this shop, Kamila Myzel, is just a one-of-a-kind, such a sweetheart, knows her Can I curse?
Yes, you can curse.
She knows her stuff. The community loves her, and she loves the community back. Here we are.
All right, this reminds me of the chocolate shop from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, where he goes and he buys the bar.
She decorates it every holiday. She's set up for Halloween. She takes a lot of pride in her decorating.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, pleasure. I came to New York in the beginning of 1980. We escaped from Poland, and 2 days later the martial law started, so the borders were closed, no communication with anybody. I came to Manhattan. Craziness every corner, yelling, people screaming, doing stuff. I stood up in a moment and I just said to myself, that's it. This is my city. I took over the shop in 1990. I'm from Europe, I'm from Poland. Everybody were cooking and baking. So I was watching this when I was a little girl. I have a photographic memory and it became a passion basically. During the COVID, no customers, I was alone in the shop. Yeah, I got in trouble with the landlord and I have difficulties to pay. A lot of people helped me. Brandon from Humans of New York opened for me the GoFundMe page. Also, Nico, New York, he advertised me. Joel Gergilo from NBC, they put me on the programs. This is such a deep and huge appreciation for people because people help me to continue and to stay over here.
So clearly you get a lot of visitors, right?
Yes, I do, and people really knows me. It's such a nice feeling. I love people, I love the connection with people, and it's the most important thing.
I'm curious, the chocolate, how much of this is baked in-house?
I bake all of my cookies. The chocolates, I pay somebody else to do it for me, okay, because I don't have enough space. My favorite, dark chocolate pecans, hazelnuts, almonds, and then licorice. I have over 100 different types of licorice. All of the licorice are different shape. Each shape is going to taste different. You divide by unsalted and salted. I give you the canal houses. I like this one very much. And then I give you the herbal one. Couple of this one. This is spicy and slightly salted, okay?
Okay.
I give you some menthol licorice from Switzerland.
you.
Okay, here you go. And let me give you some chocolate. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just got 10 pounds of candy. And Nico, what an amazing woman.
The best, right?
Now we're gonna try some of these sweets on 6.5 Ave, New York's only hidden street. What's crazy is people come from all over the world for her licorice. She has licorice from so many different countries in there. I was dying to try some of her homemade chocolate. She just gave us a little bit of everything. I've never tried her chocolate.
It's so good.
It's really a lost art what she's doing in there because New York has plenty of candy stores, but how many of them are you gonna have the owner just sitting there and chatting with you?
There really aren't a lot of places like that in New York. She has stuff that you can't find anywhere else.
It's on the most unassuming street too. If she was closer to Times Square, I don't think she would have had any of those problems that she had. And you actually helped set up the GoFundMe.
We raised a good amount of money for her, and she's very grateful. We're very grateful for her.
We all should be. That's like a true New York icon right there. I always love immigrant stories like that. Actually, it reminds me of my own mom. My mom's from Ukraine, so I know exactly what it was like. People who had to leave during the Cold War and like restart their lives, and some of them have started tremendous businesses. She's just a prime example. Many of you are staying in Midtown Manhattan. If you walk in there, I promise you're gonna buy something. I promise you, you will find something unique, interesting, and tasty.
Go to Myzel's.
We've got Anthony and Son Panini shop. This is a staple here in Williamsburg, and there's just tons of local characters here, right?
A good amount of the characters that you might recognize from my page came from Anthony and Son's Panini shop. Irma, Charlie the Wolf, Big Joe Gambino, Mario, some really great Italian Americans.
All right, let's find some characters in there. That is a lot of sandwiches, a lot of paninis. I want to order the whole place.
That's an Italian shirt, sir. You can tell I'm an Italian place. I'm Antonio Curcio and I own Anthony and Son Panini shop. I came here as a tourist in 1988. 5 years later, I started Anthony and Son. It was a little bit fruit store, a little bit at a time. We went to grocery, then we went to organic. We started making panini, and that's what we do today. My personal favorite is the FDNY.
If I help you, Godfather, I'll do FDNY.
Okay. So first you do the garlic bread, then we do a little bit vodka sauce. We do chicken cutlet, fresh mozzarella, melted the mozzarella a little bit. You want spicy or sweet? Spicy. And that's the famous sandwich, FDNY.
Pretty simple.
That's the best. So we do a little bit oregano, a little bit garlic, a little bit crushed pepper, and a little bit olive oil. I slice one after another.
How many different types of meat is this?
That's 6 different Italian cutlets. That's the Godfather. Now, I put a fresh mozzarella, and you say you want spicy pepper, a little bit arugula. We're not done yet. Mortadella, prosciutto, and that's the last thing. That's the Godfather.
It's amazing how this used to be like an Italian store. They got sauces, they had everything you would need. Oh, we got plenty to eat right now. We got so much to eat. That guy knows what he's doing. I could just tell instantly. Nico opted for the healthy. I opted for the FDNY, the chicken cutlet, the mutts, the vodka sauce. So how many of these sandwiches have you had in your life?
A lot. I do eat here quite a bit.
Oh, that's a chicken cutlet. I mean, sure, you can find chicken cutlets all over the city, but with garlic bread, this amount of mutts and the vodka sauce.
They
ooh.
make the mozzarella here, they make the garlic bread here.
Like, this is standing out big time. Just one of these will put you to sleep. That's it.
I know, you can't eat the whole thing.
If I do, I gotta go take a nap right now. I'm telling you, vodka sauce on a sandwich is my kryptonite, man. I could never avoid it. So you've known this family for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony's a character,
Yep.
100%. I love guys like that, and they're sort of like the staples that can hold a neighborhood together, right?
Oh, for sure. You know, you have like Emily's Pork Store down the block. You have Carmine's. You have Model T Meats. It's still got that Italian old school charm.
Yeah, it's true. Spots like this are tough to come by. There are famous delis in New York still, but there's less and less of them. And then when you look at this quality, you know, that list goes even lower. There's gotta be like top 10 sandwiches I've ever had in New York.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah, it's the kind of spot where I could see like transplants, little hipsters coming in, but old school people coming in as well.
That's exactly what it is.
Perfect balance.
The reason why you know it's good is because all of the city workers come here. Firefighters, cops, garbage men, they all come to Anthony and Sons. That's how you know a place is good.
Now, if you enjoy watching this channel, you probably like to know where to go in New York and who to support. Well, Nico has a new book called New York Nico's Guide to NYC.
Boom, there it is. A lifetime in the making. 100 of some of my favorite spots in New York. Whether that's food related or retail, it's all in here. It's great for tourists and locals alike. If you're a local, a lot of these spots, maybe you've had their food before, but you don't know the amazing backstory. So Brooklyn, you got a map of Brooklyn. All my spots are highlighted on there. And then boom, Anthony and Sons. Photos, history, tips. That's the FDNY that John just ate, and that's my dog Toby. The book is just full of some of my favorite places in New York that I think everybody should experience.
I've covered a lot, but not all the places in that book, so I'm gonna personally buy it and I'm going to use it in future videos. If you'd like to pre-order, depending when you watch, or order it, because it's coming out shortly, QR code here, link down in the description. Great stocking stuffer for Christmas as well. Nico, we're at Lily's Baked Goods, and this is an absolute institution in Harlem, right?
So yeah, Lily's has been around since 1965. He's been making baked goods for that long. And he's, I believe, in his early to mid 80s, and he's still working every day. Not a lot of people like that anymore.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Let's check this out.
My name is Alvin Lee Smalls. I'm 82 years old.
Hi, my name is Kellen Tiller Smalls, and I am partner here at Lily's Baked Goods.
Lily, can you tell us about the history of first how you got into baking arugula?
Well, I found this recipe in the newspaper about 60 years ago, and with the little experience I had, I played with it around and do this, to change this, change that. And for my blessing, it came out this way.
How long have you been in this location here in Harlem?
This location, 25 years.
In the beginning, there were a number of different struggles that had to do with funding. Black business couldn't get funded. So we've endured that. Then we endured a lot of change that happened during COVID, where we were providing door-to-door service, straight from the store, straight to your door. We are a destination on many of the tourist list of things to do and get to. And we have a lot of neighborhood people. We have a lot of elderly people who've been with us for a very long time. We have an awful lot of Jewish patrons here that tell us that it's better than their bubbies. Alvin has created a dessert that fits in your hand, and that many people who never knew what it was before now know what it is.
Well, everybody should have at least one. It's the best. Fresh, good ingredients. For 60 years, I used the same brand of flour. I use pure apricot, pure raspberry.
Everything's at a premium. It's a premium dessert.
All right, we got some goodies from Lily. You know, every time I go there, I get a smile on my face.
Great people, great baked goods.
You know, Lily does his hamantash and his rugula different than your average Jewish bakery. I'm Jewish, you're Jewish. I have to say, he has elevated the game with his style. Probably some of the best rugula I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah. His is always moist, it always tastes fresh.
Little raisin baked inside here, chocolate cream on top, like little sugar crystals baked in there.
Lily really knows what he's doing.
He's been baking since the mid-60s. He's been doing rugula since the 80s. I mean, to survive so many years in any location in New York, you have to be top-notch. New Yorkers are a picky bunch.
Yeah, he has a very, very devoted following. That's what gives a lot of these businesses their staying power, loyal customers.
That's how you stay alive in New York. The hamantash or the rugula.
Well, hamantash is great, but the rugula, there's like nothing better than the rugula.
Yeah. Lily is one of the last commercial bakers in New York making rugula. It's unique, it's different, you owe it to yourself to give them a try. Now that you know 5 restaurants in New York that you need to support, in this video I rank some of New York's top restaurants from worst to best. Watch this next.